and welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
And I'm Reese.
And today we are talking about Lego.
I love Lego.
You love Lego?
My
I
goodness.
haven't played it with Lego since I was a kid, but I know a lot of people really like it, even as adults.
Yeah, and it can be quite expensive nowadays. My uncle still collects Lego sets, and they run, $20, $30 per box.
20, 30 NT dollars?
US.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's like what, 900 something?
Yeah, for
here?
like one model.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
That's a lot. And if you guys collect Legos, then I'm sure you probably know the cost of them. So can you imagine making something out of Lego that is bigger than yourself?
Wow.
That's what this article is about. We're talking about a guy who is actually a Lego artist. It's really interesting, and I think it looks really cool. So why don't we go learn a little bit more about it?
Let's do it.
Reading.
Learning about nature through Lego art. Children often dream about the jobs that they want to do when they grow up. Adults tell them to do what they love. Sean Kenny took that advice to heart. The 44-year-old artist makes his living playing with Lego bricks. Many places have displayed his life-sized cars and detailed model cities. One of his projects is called Nature Connects, Art with Lego Bricks. This traveling exhibition is held at zoos around the US and displays his collection of colorful Lego animal sculptures. It includes a gigantic butterfly, a family of polar bears, and a peacock spreading its beautiful tail feathers. Kenny even made one of an extinct leopard that's from Taiwan. Kenny doesn't do all this work by himself. He designs his ideas on paper, and other artists help him build each sculpture and glue the pieces together. It takes thousands of Lego pieces and many months to create each one. The result is always impressive. Kenny's exhibition shows our connection to nature by making our senses come alive with childlike wonder. Okay, our article starts out today by talking about something that we all have in common. Children often dream about the jobs that they want to do when they grow up. That's for sure. I know I had a lot of childhood dreams.
What was one of yours?
I wanted to be a singer, a firefighter, a dinosaur scientist, a writer. I became a few of those things.
That's a huge range of different jobs.
I know. I had so many interests.
Yeah, I was obsessed with being an actor when I was younger.
Ooh.
Or just doing something on the stage.
Well, you kind of do now.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I mean, working with AMC and For You is
Yes.
kind of like acting.
We get to be on YouTube.
It's great.
Yeah.
We're famous.
We are famous.
A little bit.
What happens when they grow up?
The article tells us, it says, adults tell them to do what they love. Sean Kenny took that advice to heart. Okay, so that's quite an interesting turn of phrase, to take something to heart. Well, let's have a look at what that means. To take something to heart means to listen carefully to and actually use some advice or comments given to you. We can use this phrase in a positive or negative way. So if you take somebody's mean comments or insults to heart, that means you really let them affect you and make you sad. However, it can also be positive. If somebody gives you good feedback and you take it to heart, that means you take the feedback seriously and apply it to your life.
Yeah, so taking things to heart can be kind of like taking things personally as well. Well, although taking things personally, I think, is usually negative.
It is.
Yeah, but we are taking good things to heart, taking advice to do what you love to heart. So what it says is, the 44-year-old artist, Sean Kenny, makes his living playing with Lego bricks. So make a living. Make a living is one of these phrases that you will want to know because it's about your job. Make a living means to make enough money to live decently at usually a job. A living, saying that something is a living, means your quality of life is somewhat comfortable. If it's a bit less comfortable, but it's still okay, maybe you are, running out of money at the end of the month, but then you have enough to get by. It's make enough to get by, so you're living paycheck to paycheck. But making your living means this job is how you make most, if not all, of your money.
Well, the article continues and it tells us many places have displayed his life-sized cars and detailed model cities.
Life-size cars? So
Wow.
you can actually get in a Lego car?
I mean, I went to a place called Legoland once in the UK. It's
I've
like
heard of it.
theme park made of Lego.
I think the US has one too.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And they have entire sculptures made of Lego.
Oh, it's crazy.
So much fun. But we do have a grammar point to talk about here. This is using one of my favorite punctuation marks, the hyphen. It's that little line that you sometimes see connecting two words, and we can learn about how to use it. So the word life-sized is two words combined with a hyphen. And it's an example of a compound adjective, so we can use them as descriptors. So let's see some examples. It might make it a bit easier to understand. So, for example, if we're trying to explain that young man has a kind heart, we could say that young man is kind-hearted, with a hyphen in between kind and hearted. Another example? That leaf is in the shape of a heart. We could say that leaf is heart-shaped, with a hyphen between heart and shaped. And there is another example. Charlotte learned in class about some animals that have 4 legs today. We could say instead, Charlotte learned in class about some 4-legged animals today, with a hyphen between 4 and legged.
All right, so we also have another word in here, which is detailed. So he makes detailed model cities. Detailed is an adjective that means, well, including lots of detail. And that means lots of fine parts, lots of small things that you can take a look at in the work or the picture or a description of something. There's lots of little things to look at and a lot of little things that your eyes can kind of go over, and you can see lots of tiny features. So if you look at the model cities that this guy makes, they might have people, they might have things like benches and plants and signs and cars and other things in them that are very small. Not just big things like buildings. Like you might expect to only see buildings in a cityscape, but the cities include all the little things that live and exist in them. So a detailed cityscape, a detailed piece of writing, for example, tells you a lot of little things about the subject. So here's an example. This drawing of Elsa is extremely detailed. You can even count the tiny hairs on her eyebrows in it. So yeah, if you can see the one-by-one little hairs in somebody's eyebrows, that's a very detailed drawing.
Very detailed indeed.
And then we have the article going on about one of his projects. It literally says, one of his projects is called Nature Connects, Art with Lego Bricks.
Ooh, sounds interesting. So we're expecting to see maybe some natural things made with Lego.
Yes.
Well, the article tells us more. It says this traveling exhibition is held at zoos around the US and displays his collection of colorful Lego animal sculptures.
Yeah.
But what's a collection? Collection is a group of things. Usually the things in a collection are similar in some way. So you might have a collection of toys, or a collection of coins, or a collection of stamps. You can really collect anything, with collect being the verb form of collection. So in the article they talk about a collection of Lego animals. It sounds super cool. So an example sentence with collection could be, I have a huge collection of video games at home. I never run out of games to play.
Oh, that's cool.
It's true.
I kind of have a big-ish collection, but sometimes I want to play something new. I don't have much time these days, though.
So you can expand your collection.
I can.
Buy
I
some
should.
more games. I can lend you some, Kat.
Ooh, okay.
We have another word here, which is sculpture, and he has a collection of Lego animal sculptures. So sculpture is a noun, and a sculpture is a 3D piece of art that has been made or built to look like something else. So you can make sculptures using stone, plastic, or any strong material like Lego.
Yeah, Legos are pretty hard, or I should say Lego is pretty hard to break.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you step on one, and apparently it's one of the most painful experiences ever.
Speaking from experience, I can say yes, that's true.
Ouch. Yeah, don't ever step on a Lego. Anyway, so what does this collection of zoo animals made of Lego include? What it says is it includes a gigantic butterfly, a family of polar bears, and a peacock spreading its beautiful tail feathers.
Wow.
So butterflies, as you guys know, are these cute little beautiful insects with gorgeous, colorful wings. Polar bears, those big white bears. And a peacock is that bird that its feathers look like a fan. Its tail feathers. It's blue, and then it's got these green feathers with they look like eyes. And they love to show them off. They really, really do. They will show them to anyone. But anyway, so we're talking about a gigantic butterfly here. It's not just any butterfly. You might expect a Lego butterfly to be very small, but it's actually gigantic. It's very, very big, much bigger than usual things. Another animal that's gigantic, naturally, is a blue whale. Taipei 101 is a gigantic building. It takes, you have to look up very far to see it. The Pacific Ocean is gigantic. Lots of things are gigantic if they're very, very big.
Gigantic. Love that word. Well, the article continues, and it says that Kenny even made one of an extinct leopard that's from Taiwan.
Oh.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is, except that the leopard's extinct.
That's not so cool.
Yeah.
So what does extinct mean? Well, it's an adjective that describes an animal or a plant that doesn't exist anymore. They all died and they can't come back. So there are many animals that have gone extinct because of people, such as the mammoth, which is like a big hairy elephant, and the dodo, which was a bird that lived on an island, and we kind of ate them all.
Well, from what I heard, they died out because the forest went away. But,
Yeah, it was our fault regardless.
Yeah.
And animals going extinct is unfortunately something that's happening all around the world still today because humans can't seem to learn to look after them properly.
Yeah, exactly. All right. But anyway, we have leopards and polar bears, big butterflies and peacocks, all sorts of things. But here's the thing. Kenny doesn't do all this work by himself. I think it would probably take him a long, long time to do it all by himself.
Yeah, I'd imagine that you would need a team to build something as big as a polar bear.
Yeah, and I think that's what it says.
Well, the article says he designs his ideas on paper and other artists help him build each sculpture and glue the pieces together.
That must take a long time.
A very long time. And we don't usually glue pieces of Lego together.
Right, but if you don't want them to be broken apart ever, then you would.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the best idea for him. What it says is it takes thousands of Lego pieces and many months to create each one, even with many people working on it. The result is always impressive.
I bet
it is. I would love to see it in person. So a result here, the result is the noun that means when you finish something you've been working on, the result is the finished thing. We also often say the end result. That's a phrase we put together when you use the word result. The end result of something usually means after you've put some effort into some work and then you get something out of it. It's always something you find at the end and it's fully realized, it's complete. It can also be an effect of a cause. For example, if you have a good result, things ended up well, and if you had a bad result, then something went wrong and the end was bad. Yeah. So an example sentence for result. We took a baking class to learn how to make chocolate cake, and the result was both beautiful and delicious.
Great result. I love cake.
Me too.
Especially when it's chocolate. Well, there was another word, and it was impressive. I love this word. Impressive is an adjective, and something that is described as impressive makes you feel admiration or wonder through size, quality, or skill. It's grand or big or awesome. So a physical thing can be impressive, like a big, beautiful mountain or a powerful lion, but also things that you do can be impressive, like running a marathon is very, very impressive because it takes so much effort. The verb to impress means to make somebody feel that you are impressive. So an example sentence could be, my friend David's grades are so impressive. He got all A's and A+.
I'm envious of David.
Yeah, he impresses all of his friends.
Wow.
The article continues here and it says, Kenny's exhibition shows our connection to nature by making our senses come alive with childlike wonder.
Ooh, that's very cool. Childlike wonder.
Descriptive.
Yeah, but what does it mean to have a connection to nature? Connection is our next vocabulary word. It's a noun that means a way of forming a link or coming together with something or somebody else or connecting with it. That's the verb, to connect with something. And then you add add ION and you get a connection. So it means you feel close to it or you join in with it. So one thing we connect to a lot is Wi-Fi, of course. But when we connect to nature, it means we're trying to pay attention to it and understand our place in it. That's what having a connection is. It's the state of being connected or being together with something else. And having a connection with something or somebody means you feel close to them or you feel like they understand you.
Right, it's a nice way to describe your relationship maybe with a friend.
Yes.
You say, we have a great connection.
Yeah, we have a strong connection.
Yeah.
I have a close connection with my family. It means I've talked to my family a lot and we love each other a lot, that kind of thing. So an example sentence, it's exactly that. I have a strong connection to my family, even though I don't live in the same place with them now.
I can definitely understand that feeling.
Yeah. So, and then we have this other phrase, come alive. The connection to nature makes our senses come alive. That means there's a lot of energy or good feelings or excitement about it. Your senses get excited by seeing these Lego artworks and you feel amazed. You feel like, wow, this is really something. Like I can see it, I can feel it, I can get a sense of how it looks, even though it's just artwork. You could also say that this artist makes things come alive with his art because he makes it seem like it's something out of real life, like a real animal.
That's really cool. And there was another word here which was childlike. The article said childlike wonder. So childlike is an adjective, and you can maybe guess what it means. Childlike means like a child. So if something or someone is childlike, it means they look or act in a way similar to a child. So childlike wonder. Wonder is another word we should talk about, and we used this earlier in our explanation of the word impressive. Wonder can be a verb or a noun, but here it's used as a noun. So a wonder can be a person or a thing that is very good or impressive. Or we can use the noun wonder to talk about that feeling that something is really good or amazing. It makes us feel wonder because it's beautiful, impressive, or just really, really special. So an example sentence with wonder could be, looking up at the thousands of stars in the night sky, I felt a sense of wonder at how big the universe is.
Yeah, and you might feel childlike wonder there too. I also want to note the difference between the word childlike and childish. Because childlike is very positive. It means you see the world like a kid, like it's as though you're looking at something for the first time and everything's new and exciting. But childish means you're acting like a spoiled brat.
Yes.
Yeah, and it means that you are, maybe you're an adult or a teenager, but you're acting like a little kid being like, why? It's not fair. When? Crying and stuff. So, yeah, remember, if you're going to use the word childlike, it's positive. Childish is negative.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of the article today about Lego, but we do have a For You chat question, so let's have a talk about that.
For You chat.
All right, our For You chat question for today. What helps you connect with nature? Give some examples. So what about you, Reese?
Well, I love nature. When I was a kid, I would spend most of my time in the evenings after school out in nature, catching bugs, climbing trees, walking in the forest.
That's
and
cool.
It's something I still enjoy today. And luckily for us, we live in Taipei, which is surrounded by beautiful nature. Mountains, parks, trees, animals everywhere. So if I want to connect with nature, I might go for like a hike in Yangmingshan and just experience the plants and the animals around me. You can even see monkeys in Yangmingshan.
I didn't know they were there. I thought they were down south.
Yeah, no, they're in Yangmingshan as well. There's a hot spring up there I go to sometimes, and every time I drive past, there's a troop of monkeys on the street, and I just get so excited to see them.
I think they must be really smelly, though.
Yes, and dangerous. Don't touch them.
And don't feed them, is what I've heard.
What about you, Kat?
To connect with nature, I think I like to go to some of the bigger city parks like Da'an Park or like maybe 228 Peace Park. Those are really nice places to get some nature in, or go for a hike on like Xiangshan and places like that. Sometimes I go to Tiger Mountain with friends and, just to get away from the city for a little while and get to someplace quiet feels really, really good. And I always like the opportunity to do that.
I think it's good for your brain to be out of the busyness and noise of the city and just relax around nature. It gives me this kind of childlike sense of wonder.
There you go.
It makes you feel very, very calm.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys can think about this question too. If you're feeling overwhelmed by city life, how do you connect with nature? Do you see some trees or visit some animals or even go to the zoo?
Yeah. That's a good question. So, yeah, how do you connect with nature? How do you think these Lego artworks help you connect with nature? Those are all very good questions. And you should check out these artworks. But for now, that's all we've got. So that's the end of our teaching here. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Learning about nature through Lego art. Children often dream about the jobs that they want to do when they grow up. Adults tell them to do what they love. Sean Kenny took that advice to heart. The 44-year-old artist makes his living playing with Lego bricks. Many places have displayed his life-sized cars and detailed model cities. One of his projects is called Nature Connects, Art with Lego Bricks. This traveling exhibition is held at zoos around the U.S. and displays his collection of colorful Lego animal sculptures. It includes a gigantic butterfly, a family of polar bears, and a peacock spreading its beautiful tail feathers. Kenny even made one of an extinct leopard that's from Taiwan. Kenny doesn't do all this work by himself. He designs his ideas on paper, and other artists help him build each sculpture and glue the pieces together. It takes thousands of Lego pieces and many months to create each one. The result is always impressive. Kenny's exhibition shows our connection to nature by making our senses come alive with childlike wonder.
Vocabulary Review. Detailed. Penny gave the police a detailed description of the man that broke into her house. Collection. My dad decided to give his large collection of old history books to the library. Result. Terry didn't study for the tests, and the result was he got low scores on all of them. Impressive. The movie was so impressive that I want to see it again. Connection. The prisoner maintained a connection with his family by sending letters to them weekly. Wonder. When Kelly saw snow for the first time, her face was filled with wonder.
智慧小补帖
Sculpture. Gigantic. Extinct. Childlike.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net